The wheel in the sky is your mama. Oh, hey. Good morning. Oh, look, I forgot to turn on a light. Aziz! Over there. No, that was Flash Step. Good morning, everyone. Did I say good morning already? Good morning again. Have an extra good morning if I did. So, today's show is also brought to you by the letter F. Because we're fuck. No. Because I've been playing Final Fantasy. No, that's not it. Um, no. Few of you fail to be fooled by the fundamentals of fascism these days. That's why. So, you need to focus. F. You go F yourself. Focus. Sorry. Um, so that's the idea. There's been a lot of people wondering, how do I go talk to somebody to help them wake up? Like, how do I not sound like an average everyday crazy person talking the same shit all these other fucking fools on YouTube are talking and actually come across as the voice of reason? Well, there's two things that are really easy to bring up. I'll tell you about those in a second. Sean, don't be so patronizing. Sorry, it's kind of what I do. I am the host of a fake TV channel. Um, yeah, there's a guy once asked me the same thing. And I told him the same thing. And I farted. He fell over. And then I laughed. He cried. What was I talking about? Oh, yeah. Good times, good times. So that joke was brought to you by the letter F. I don't know. That's all I got, people. That's all I got. So speaking of F, no more funny stuff. For a few. Oh, okay. Oh, fucking back hurts. Oh, it's broken in three places. I wonder why. Okay. So, what you can ask someone to start them on their wake up process. Well, you kind of wait for the relevant moment, of course. And what you have to do is sort of a, hey, did you know that Russian intelligence service has some guy who's claiming to be Jesus, and there's like a giant funded communal area, and they're kind of brainwashing his giant, giant cult at this point to say that they have to come save the rest of the world from evil America. I mean, you're just saying what's going on with the crazy people. You're not a crazy people. This is just shit you can back them. And they'll be like, what the fuck? Because that sounds crazy. It fucking sounds crazy, doesn't it? But you can go and just look up Russian fake Jesus. And there he is. And here's your sign. No. Another thing you can say is, did you know that Russia for centuries has been using racism and religion to divide people so that they could conquer them? Did you know that for centuries, Russia has installed leaders in foreign governments in order to subvert them? Did you know that it was happening here? America's a great country. We are a great people. We are all people. But we're not immune. For those of you who play Final Fantasy, we don't have ribbon armor. Probably nobody but my wife is going to get that joke, but that's fine. I make a lot of those kind of jokes. Usually try not to make them on fake TV, though. So, yeah, focus. I need to focus on what you need to focus. Focus on the idea that everybody hating each other is not a natural state of being. And that this chaos that we're in right now is due to foreign subversion. Okay? And it's not brown people. Okay? That's part of their tactics. The North. Yeah, I delivered warnings and I poured it up a lot. I pointed up a lot. Why? Because which way is north? Up! That's funny. Come on. That's funny. How do you know north isn't up? Could all just be mountains and relatively, diagonally a little bit up. All right. So this video is clearly going to be a short one because I'm already wondering what the fuck I'm going to say next. Final Fantasy is an interesting F word. So's your face. Okay. I guess I could talk a little bit about Final Fantasy. I really enjoy playing that game. For those of you who are familiar with the other Final Fantasies, it's not one of those one where you have to wait for a gauge to fill up before you can act. This is the ultimate chess game, basically. You're taking it's turn based, but it's very quick action, and you get to employ a lot of different strategy from a lot of different types of moves and characters and spells and enhancements. And you get to customize weapons by stealing different items, and you can have a lot of fun with this game. And the story. Oh, the story. Story about true love and defeating sin and finding out that it was your father. And sounds familiar to me. So if you're interested in me, you might be interested in that game. A long time ago, there were lots of people, but that was a long time ago. No, a long time ago, technology was in no way inferior. Well, metallurgy. Metallurgy was inferior, but technology as a whole, like what you could do as far as transportation and warfare goes, and those are, important things. Architecture, for sure. Um, it was all, if not as advanced as these days, more advanced because they built things to last back then. They just built things as cheap as they can nowadays. Saying don't make them like they used to. Well, exponentially when you go back, several thousand years ago. Dirigibles, for instance. Dirigibles and various sorts of gliding things were used in combat. As long as there's been combat, The whole concept of higher ground was not lost on people back then. And the highest ground you can get is the one that you can make in the sky. And really, like, how arrogant are people these days that they think that people who live to be like 40 years old couldn't figure out how to make a hot air balloon? And how naturally brainwashed to that arrogance have you become? Have people in general become? That every time we hear something like this, oh, they weren't smart enough to do that back then, just smile and nod. Pat ourselves on the back. Oh, we're modern, we're progressive. No, you're brainwashed. You don't even know which way is up. So, I guess that's all I have to say for today. Talk to people about how racism is promoted, has always been promoted by the KGB, and is being promoted today by the Russian Foreign Intelligence Service, and has been since 2 years before Obama took office, that you can pretty easily track. Okay. Um. Wow. I say wow because the idea that nobody catches on to this shit just kind of proves that most of the people out there are fucking Russian provocateurs. Okay. And ask people, do you know what a provocateur is? It's something that Europeans know about. It's somebody that Russia sends to stir up fucking trouble between people. They pretend to be one person so that they can get a fight going on. Okay. They pretend to be a part of one group so they can get two groups fighting each other, whether it be a political group or a racial thing. Fuck kids are calling it these days. How did that become race? There's the human race, there's like the angelic race, and there's like the magi race, there's the goblin race, there's like the elven race, there's like the NASCAR race, there's the touring car race, there's the Le Mans race, there's like a foot race, a sprint race, and there's like a racetrack that you get gas at, and some really shitty hot dogs. Um, but like, really, they got a little bit of different pigment. You think they're a different race than you? Really? You're brainwashed. Repetition works. And if repetition didn't work, then so many people wouldn't be repeating themselves. And you'd hear a lot less repetition. It'd be repetition of repetition of repetition. It would be obviously redundant. I don't know. I just wanted to say repetition a lot because repetition is the only reason why most people hate. Okay? Ideas being repeated, ideas of inferiority, of superiority, of right, of wrong, of he did this, they can't do this, they shouldn't do this, we should be able to do this, being repeated over and over again. That's what stirs you to anger. Okay? And the way those things get repeated to you comes from Russian intelligence operatives working inside this country, inside our communities, inside of our churches, inside of our government. Okay? And to deny that this has been going on is silly, and it's folly. It's folly. It's fallacy. It's false. It's fornication. No, it's fucked up, man. It's fucked up. And that analogy has been clearly brought to you by the letter F. For no fucking reason. Shit, I said F again. I could try to film the rest of this video without saying the letter F, but I just fucked it up. Okay. I did that on purpose. That was an intentionally played out, previously thought of me being an idiot just to annoy you or entertain you. Entertain you, yeah, entertain. Science. Um, 15 minutes. I'm gonna go now. Um, talk to people about racism and its foreign sources. Talk to people about religious division, Christian division, especially divisions among Christian church. Why are there so many fucking denominations? The answer is Russia. Okay. Oh, you can fucking trace it back. It's east versus west as far back as you go. Okay. They just got us fighting amongst ourselves. It's fucking sad. And I think the most important thing you can tell people about to wake them up to the reality that for all intents and purposes, even if you don't believe in it, there is a anti-Christian, and if you do believe in it, satanic element to the Russian imperial foreign policy. Okay? They target Christians specifically. First of all, they were targeted for reasons stated in documents back in the 40s and 50s, because Christians were the backbone of security of this country. Okay? But it's been going on a whole lot longer than that. Way back to the Templars protecting anybody who didn't believe the same thing they did. Problem for people who like to use religious division to fight each other. And the most significant evidence of this: Russian false Jesus. Guy used to be a fucking Spetsnaz. Okay? And he was just reading the Vedas or something one day. Just decided, oh, that's me. So he read the pot about the guy smoking the fucking pot ashes off of his chest. I'm sure very few stoners empathize with that, dude. Fuck's sake. You know, you can tell the difference between me and everybody else. They're trying to seem like what they're claiming to be. I'm not. As hard as they try, they don't fit character. They don't fit the spirit energy. They don't fit the silly nature of a guy who'd make a fucking platypus. I mean, think of them, think of the platypus. And then for those of you who've actually read the fucking Bible, your discernment should be raising red flag after red flag after red flag. And it's about the fundamentals, the basics. Really? You're pretending to beat Jesus and you can't even get the fucking basics right? And then there's me. I got a bad attitude and I say the word fuck a lot. And I'm Southern, Acadian, traveled the fucking world. But look at me, fucking Southern, you know? I have a magazine and a picture frame. Okay? I really like that magazine. Okay. Oh, 5 minutes ago I said I was going to end the video. I guess I could end the fucking video. Do you really want me to end the video? You probably do. Let's face it. Is he fucking done talking yet? Jesus Christ. Shut up or I'll fart. Invisible person that probably can't even smell it. Okay, I've officially squeezed my face hard enough to say something even I didn't expect. At least it wasn't a pimple. You can't really wipe off a touch screen while you. Never mind. Never mind. I'm gonna make a video because I mean I'm fully human, fully human. I have the same doubts anybody had the same doubts anybody would have in my situation, no matter what fucking strange spirit energy convinced them of whatever. But there's a lifelong process, a lifelong series of events. Actually, it stretches before my life even began in my conscious memory that I have to deal with from my perspective. And logically, analytically, I probably shouldn't have been as rigorous about whether or not this was truth or blasphemy. Okay. Because I've literally been so rigorous to that effect before I bothered squeezing my fucking head on YouTube that my own free will is kind of in jeopardy here. I don't have a choice. And if you saw what I saw your entire life, if you knew what I knew your entire life, if you had the wisdom of centuries from the age of 4 like I did, and spent your entire life observing humanity the way I did, thinking you were going to perhaps prepare the way for Christ to come, but never allowing the thought, never being arrogant enough to allow the thought, except for what the goddess told you in your dreams and what your greater spiritual self, which I used to simply think of was, I thought John the Baptist was telling me what I was going to do for Jesus. Okay? A lot of things had to be revealed to me before I realized I was kind of talking to myself. It's that greater spiritual self that everybody has. And there's some things that a lot of people with intuition, a lot of people with past lives, especially, kind of have notions of when they first read the Bible when they're younger and they get told otherwise. And I wanted to go back through those things and see if these new ideas made sense of any of them. That's how I started. Figured the most proper place was to start with the Bible, you know? And as I read, you know how when you've walked the path that you're supposed to walk and suddenly the Bible makes a little more sense? Go read something you fucking wrote. Just go read something you wrote. That's what I experienced. Like, say you just something that you have hidden under a dresser drawer. You fucking don't really know what it says, but it's like just read it, and it brings back memories. Like it's like, wow, I forgot I even wrote this down. But like, oh yeah, that was my experience. especially when reading the book of John. And I'll tell you, most of the book of John is the words of Mary, which, she died for your sins too. So have a little respect. In fact, she died twice just in that small time frame that everybody obsesses over 2,000. So all I wanted to be my whole life was just a good little demon hunter and to help people find Christ and to help people with serious spiritual handicaps, whether it be intellectually unable to attain faith or whether they're so into witchcraft that they're losing sight of God altogether. I used to be good at that. I used to be an exorcist of sorts. I used to see exorcist movies and laugh at them thinking they were amateurs. I'll put it that way. See, there, in retrospect, are some times in my life where I was acting well beyond the scope of what an exorcist should be able to do. For instance, when counseling a friend, sometimes a girl I was dating, they would tell me they wanted to fight the battle. Okay. They wanted to fight the demon, and I would teach them how. But there'd be a point at which, and I would tell them this, if you need a break, if it's overwhelming you, just let me know. I'll step in. And all I ever had to do was snap my fingers. And suddenly their mind was calm. Now, I'm not a hypnotist. I wasn't waving nothing around in their faces. Well, not going to go there. I went there on purpose before I even said that. I know it was a joke. It was a fucking joke. Okay. Oh, look. Twice as long as I said it was going to be. I'm really bad at deciding what the fuck a video is going to have in it. I planned the first 10 minutes out of this, and I've just been babbling randomly ever since. How about that? The implications of what I'm doing here are fucking profound, okay? And I guess it makes me a little jittery, and it's kind of hard to focus. I mean, have you ever fucking been on fake TV? It's not much different than real TV when it all comes down to it. When you start seeing fucking 1,200, fucking 1,300 subscribers, fucking, oh, I don't edit this shit. Most of these fucking people who make these videos take their sweet ass time. I come back here with a bunch of scribble scratch and I hit record. I upload it. Then I watch and see what the fuck I did. Well, no, sometimes lately I've been watching it before I upload it, but that's just mostly to make sure people can hear it. I think there's only been one video I've actually deleted because it was that horrible. And that was because my children got in a fucking fight in the other room. Kids. I've been dealing with my children fighting each other for a very, very long time. And for those of you wondering about the hand movements, I was leaning on them and I was completely still. I was completely still. Kind of looked like that. No, my eyeballs cannot make the camera go dark. You know what I did last night? I played with the fucking stars. There was a meteor shower out. I kept missing the ones my wife was seeing. So I just decided to make a few moves. And one smartass I wasn't expecting. I got distracted by some glowing orbs or fireflies or whatever you want to call them. Fireflies, maybe. I don't know. Look up. One of the stars that was sitting there flashed real bright and then just slowly started to move away and got dark. How does a ball of gas burning billions of miles away do that? You know that weird looking crown hat that Pope Urban had? I saw Saturn turn into a shape like that and fucking fly around like it was a fucking spaceship once. Okay? My hand just. That was before he introduced himself and we became acquainted. I became acquainted with myself. Um, but yeah, I'm gonna shut the fuck up because, like I said, this channel isn't particularly about me, but I can't help but to talk from my own perspective because I'm fucking me, and it really sucks that so many people are so narrow-minded and have no clue what to expect. I have to actually explain myself, or well, I didn't quite explain myself. I just kind of confused you even more, most likely. But that's fun too. I shouldn't have to put forth effort resembling explaining myself. But, you know, I think I might. I think I just did. So now if I make another video, it'll be redundant. And I'll be repeating myself. But repetition works. So if I use repetition in the video, then the repetition should repeat itself to your I'm giving up. I'm just giving up mid sentence because I couldn't think of enough permutations of the word F. Yeah. Like, subscribe, talk to people about what Russia's been doing. Talk to people about the fact that the Cold War is never over. Talk to people about the fact that it is the war of good versus evil. The army of Satan, the fucking legion of the King of the North is what it is. Okay, and however you want to talk about it, you let them know that they don't like us and they want us to go away permanently. And that's not just the Christians in this country. That's just free people in general. That's America in general. If you haven't subscribed, please subscribe. If you haven't clicked the like button, it's a little thumb thing like this. Don't sit on it and rotate, just click it. Yeah. I really didn't think I was going to make another joke. That's just horrible. It's serious shit. I'm Nothin. You are humanity's last fucking hope. So, you know, laugh at me. Because, it's the kind of shit that if you don't laugh about it, you're going to wind up crying once you realize how bad it is. Coming up, I'm going to be doing more philosophical things with the notes, as well as some updates on Ukraine and Russia. And I'm going to be going back a little bit into the histories of Russian imperialism. I'm also going to do a conspiracy documentary. I might do another flat Earth kind of all-encompassing explanation on why we don't really fucking know either way. But a more important thing is kind of Russian historical conspiracy documentary to just ask the questions: how much of these things that we have all these conspiracy things for, theories for, how much can we make sense of as a whole? How much can we make sense of reality with if we just point the fucking finger at Russia and just say, we didn't want to think it because we were afraid of them?